Welcome to this training on CANVaS 2.0. CANVaS, as you all know, is the electronic or software version of the Virginia Child and Adolescent Needs and Strengths Assessment. This is Carol Wilson with the Office of Children's Services, and welcome to this training for local administrators on CANVaS 2.0. CANVaS was launched on July the 2nd, 2009, built on CAN software created by the state of Indiana and a software vendor, RCR Technology. So 7 years later, it's time for a change. This demonstration is provided for those of you who are currently designated CAN super users, report administrators, but with the implementation of CANVaS 2.0, we're simplifying the language and transitioning to use of the term local administrator. As a local CANVaS administrator, your responsibilities will change somewhat, and we hope make your lives easier. The most obvious immediate change will be with the creation of user accounts. For example, instead of completing the paper user agreement and sending it to the help desk, then users completing the online new account form, you will be able to partially create case manager accounts at the local level with the case manager taking the final steps. In this demo, we'll walk through this process. Two additional benefits regarding user accounts are that the new system will permit users who work in multiple localities to have only one account, and local administrators will be able to add users in their localities who are currently active in another locality. We'll demonstrate that process shortly. And finally, we are pleased to let you know you will be able to access more robust reports in CANVaS 2.0. There are the usual open and closed assessment reports, assessments open longer than 60 days, for example, but there are also child and family progress reports, as well as specifically created longitudinal reports. Information about the permanency report may be found in the demo for the DSS Enhanced CANs. To learn about the website in general and how to create assessments, please review the demo for the Standard CANs Case Manager and the demo for the DSS Enhanced Case Manager. These demos are found on the State CSA website on the homepage at www.csa.virginia.gov. We want to focus today on your role as a local administrator, specifically on use of the new site and creating accounts. So, let's get started. The CANVaS website may be accessed at the current URL. We are using a demonstration area today and logging into the CANVaS 2.0 test site. We will log in as a local administrator for Accomack County. While we're logging in, you'll notice that there are news and document tabs on the left, which have been there for some time, but we anticipate using these links more actively with the new system, so please check here periodically for updates. You'll note that, as with the current system, there is a forgot password link, but also a change password link, which permits the user to update his or her password, which that will show up once we log in. If you've entered assessments, you may see alerts in red font at the top of the page. You may also see a reminder that your certification is due in the near future. At the top of the page, you'll see three choices: Administrator, Child, and Reports. Let's look first at the Child tab. The search feature in CANVaS 2.0 is like that in the current CANVaS system. You must know the child's social security number or unique identifier and last name to find the child. And we'll look at the reports, just a quick look, and look at the drop down for each one. My reports for the case manager, client reports. These will be useful to you. Some of these are in the current system, but some are new, or some are working now that didn't used to work. And then we have the permanency report under my reports, and then the user reports, which will be good for you as the local administrator to use, and then the longevity reports. We will have more information, a separate demo on the reports later on. Okay, let's look at the Administrator tab. Okay, the drop-down box will show Global User Search and User tabs. I'm going to click on Global User, and we'll talk first about a case manager transferring. In other words, a user that's new to your locality, but you know he or she worked in another locality, so the user already has a CANVaS account. First, to search for a user anywhere in the state, enter the user's last name and gender. If you know the email address, you may also enter it. For example, we're going to enter Bear as the user's last name and male as the gender. And click on Search. And a list of all male users with the last name Bear will be displayed. So we're going to click on Yogi Bear. We see that he is an active user and he has case manager access in Hanover County. But we're in Accomack. Remember, we're a local administrator in Accomack. So we want to add the user to our location. So we will click on the add user location role. As a local administrator, you can only add case managers. So you'll see only case manager in that drop-down box. As with the current system, the Office of Children's Services will create local administrator and data entry accounts. The only drop-down option in the location box is Accomack. If you look up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see that this local administrator, CRC, is a local administrator in Accomack. A local administrator can only add users into his or her own locality. So we need to create a start date, click Save. You may enter an end date, but it is not required. If not already done, you or the case manager should notify the previous locality's local administrator to put an end date in that locality, or you can contact the help desk to do so. Okay, you've successfully added an existing user into your locality. Okay, let's go back to the Administrator tab and select User, and you will see a list of all of the users in your locality. And it's spinning, it just takes a minute. There we go. So if we look for Yogi Bear, he should be there. There we go. All right. This concludes Part 1 of the CANVaS 2.0 Local Administrator demo. When we return with Part 2, we'll demonstrate how to create a new user in CANVaS 2.0.